Let's be real. 122 commandments.
That's like that. We do at some point need to come up with like 10 commandments in sports. We need to.
I thought that's what we were doing.
We are.
The 10 commandments.
We gotta have a whole squad here. We gotta have a whole squad for us to do this.
Right.
I think it's gonna take some kind of.
Damn, did I not look at the agenda?
Like,
when you come to class unprepared, you like, I had my homework. What?
Right, look like that's a part. Ain't nobody said nothing about a test.
Damn, I left it on my bed. Man, I was doing it this morning.
And at that point, you like, man, I should have just stayed at home. I knew I should have just.
Kobe smelling dog ate the joint.
Right.
Man, I can't wait to talk about that shit, man. COVID smell. Like, come on, man. COVID smelling dogs.
Yeah. Before we get to there, though, let's go and get to real talk right quick.
Let's go.
So, as y'all see, we are missing 2 members right now. One will be in shortly, and Trevor, and Sheeta will not be on tonight. Keep his family in your prayers, as well as follow us at LBR Sports 901 and LB Real Media, and subscribe to us. Listen to us on any podcast network. But first up, Chad Wheeler. Let me say it right. Wheeler. He's used to play for the Seahawks, offensive lineman. Faced with charge of felony domestic violence. He was released by the Seahawks this week after allegedly trying to kill his girlfriend. I'm not about to go into all the details. I'm just going to ask, what the heck is going on? Darby Scholar, Savage, Tuka.
Not even sure. Sorry to answer your question. I'm not sure exactly what the heck is going on, but I will say this. I'm very thankful for Black Twitter and Twitter itself for bringing light to this situation, because let's just be frank and let's be 100 about it. I'm not sure if the media or clearly the Seahawks, because I'm pretty sure Savage is going to say this in a second, the Seahawks or the media probably wouldn't have said anything about this whatsoever. This probably would have been swept under the rug per usual. But again, shout out to Black Twitter and Twitter itself for bringing light to this situation, for making sure that justice was swiftly served for Mr. Wheeler, whatever his name is, for treating a Black woman as such as the way he did. We do not condemn that on any circumstances. So I'm glad. I'm hoping that the justice system will do something, will handle him as swiftly as possible. I will say that.
Yeah. So the pictures of the woman is very graphic, very terrifying. It took the Seahawks a very long time. They actually ended up tweeting about it. It looks like later on from like their PR account. I haven't even read the statement yet. Don't really care to, because it took them a very long time to like make a statement about it. And honestly, I don't care like what they were doing or whatever, but y'all should have acted swiftly on that. You know, I know they said he had like bipolar disorder or whatever it was. Like, I damn about that. Like, you put hands on a woman, I don't care what condition you in, dude. Like, you gotta get up out of here. And I don't know if anybody has ran to him, like a family member or what, but if you would have caught the right one, it could have been worse, you know, for him. I don't know who also paid his $400,000, you know, bond. Like, what? Why are y'all? What? He needs to sit there. Like, that's ridiculous for him to beat that woman like that and then ask, "Wow," or say, "Wow, you're still alive." Like, what do you? One, he does need help, yes, but two, he need to get his ass in jail. Period. Like, this ain't. Nah, I ain't vibing with this. They were swift on, you know, Black athletes for lesser things. They had, of course, Ray Rice situation, Michael Vick, Antonio Brown. I agree. He needs to never play football again. Like, he needs to sit his ass down. He needs to be in jail, 2, receiving some type of mental health counseling. If he does have bipolar disorder, I don't know. Can't speak for it. All I know is that don't put your hands on a woman. We ain't doing that. LBR don't condone that mess. We love our queens here, and I ain't. I'm at a loss for words, even though I said a lot, but that's just I cannot believe that happened, and there was not as much coverage initially as there should have been. Of course, it picked up steam afterwards, but yeah, that takes priority over everything else. Is the safety of this black woman and ensuring that this man goes to jail. So that's all I can say about that.
Yeah, man. Sentiments to everything that y'all just said, man. Especially with you, Savage. But of course, there were no videos or anything for us to show for social media to see, which I guess kind of helps with the situation. Of course, if he was black, videos would be everywhere, right? I even saw one story that said that he beat her and then like ate next to her or something like that. So shout out to the Seahawks for getting him out, even though this was the end of his contract. I guess Seahawks kind of saved face with that one. They did what they had to, and thank God he's not playing football again.
Yeah, apparently he had knocked her unconscious twice, and apparently thought she was dead. And she got up and walked past him or whatever. He's like, "Dang, I thought you were dead." Yeah, that's sad, bro.
Yeah,
really just said lots of words. Coverage wise, I honestly, because it was during the day I was working, I probably saw this like hours after I got on Twitter. I think I saw a couple of y'all retweeting and stuff. And I had ESPN on my TV. I saw nothing.
Nothing.
So I got on Twitter, and like I said, when I saw it, it was like 2 hours ago, 5 hours ago. I was like, dang, where I've been at? I've been working, and ESPN didn't say nothing until later. So, like you said, because even with Ray Rice and all them, video does help, and that didn't really get super big till the videos came out, but it was still coverage.
Right.
I still heard about it. It didn't take me a minute to hear about it. So, just pitiful, sad. Someone do that. Looking at those pictures are crazy. But hopefully justice is served. Like you said, we already know the racial divide, the difference, how a white man gets treated versus a black man in the same situation. So I end up wanting to really dive more on that portion. But just hopefully, like Savage said, hopefully get the help he needs, but he needs to serve some time as well.
Amen.
Yeah, shout out to Twitter for Black Twitter too, man, for bringing the smoke to ESPN, to the Seahawks organization, to the NFL as a whole. Like, if it weren't for Black Twitter, ain't no telling what the situation would have come out to, because it isn't a black person. So that means the NFL really won't care too much about it. So again, shout out to Black Twitter.
Yep. All right. Savage. Move on to the inside story to another one.
So
not a sad story.
Well, actually, the Tigers had a decent week in basketball, a decent past week. They had 3 games. They had the game against East Carolina on Sunday, and then they had back-to-back games against SMU Tuesday and Thursday. They did win the ECU game 80-53. They beat SMU on Tuesday with some controversy with the 3-point shot at the end of the shot clock, and then they lost controversy on Thursday with the no call holding under the basket foul or whatever you want to call it. 2-1 this week. What are you guys' thoughts on just the games this week and what's going on with the coaching, the players, and just I guess projecting into like the next couple of games? So starting with Shark, 2 Skylar, and then the 6-man Trevor who just came in.
Same old shit. Just a different week. Yeah, they won 3-game winning streak. I didn't really see. I guess I saw a little bit difference. They started making some shots. Sure.
Threes, yeah.
East Carolina game, they were up by 31 at halftime. Then they proceeded on to score like 8 points in the first 10 minutes of the second half. So same old team, just a different, they finally got hot for a little minute. Defense still playing great. I mean, they held SMU's best player who's leading the conference in scoring. I mean, they held him in check. But still turning the ball over. Still not looking good at guard. Alo is playing much better. He is the heart and soul of the team. But now he's starting Jaden. Hardaway, who isn't giving them much. All these slow starts are hurting them because their first game against SMU, slow start. They happen to come back and win. At SMU, another slow start. Came back again, but they pulled it off in the end this time. So what do I expect going forward? Same old shit, just different weeks.
Do I even have to say anything? Like 100% everything what you shot, like same shit, different week, right? One thing that I do want to play, like Alo's been playing a lot better, but as far as like the end of the S game, like first of all, the coaching there was terrible. Like the last 20 seconds, like you first had trouble inbounding the ball, then you hold the ball for 11 seconds, hoping something can happen. And then you call a timeout and then come back to it, and whether or not people say it was a hold at the end to get a better shot. Like, I mean, that's either here or there. We could have won the game, a couple of possessions before then. Free throws, Boogie Allen missing key free throws in that game. So, I mean, it's really literally, bad starts, bad beginning first starts. Defense came up, but can't hit our free throws. And like Shark said, man, same shit, different day.
Sharky, can you pull up my name real quick, please? For those that have not been able to see my name, that's my name, and the Memphis Tigers are the reason that's my name. They are who we thought they were. They beat before this week. They beat Wichita State and who? East Carolina.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We kind of expected, like Penny Hardaway and his team have traditionally, for the most part, beat teams that are of a lesser competition. I will say that. But when it's time to play against Tulsa, when it's time to play against SMU or Houston, they fold. So that's the issue. And so, I mean, we've already said on this podcast before, I mean, the offense is terrible. They will dribble the ball. How many seconds is on the play clock now? 30, 35? They dribble the ball and look at each other for 25 of those seconds, and then they run a pick and roll, and then some terrible shot goes up, and that's the same thing for the next 40 minutes of the game. I mean, that's the offense, and I think it's the same thing that I said last week. Like, I'm not going to continue to watch bad offense. Like, I don't have time to do that. I guess that was a good win that they had against. I
said, Cal, damn well you watched the game.
I didn't watch the game. The Lakers played yesterday. I actually should have stopped watching that game too.
I say that one no better.
They were terrible in that game too. But no, I didn't watch the game. All I did was just kind of scroll through Twitter. I didn't say anything about the game whatsoever. I kind of let everybody else do the talking. There was no need for me to say anything. The offense looks terrible. We're off to bad starts again. That's nothing new. Free throw shooting is bad. That's nothing new. They are who we thought they were. They are the Memphis Tigers who will put out great hype videos. They are the same Memphis Tigers that will put out Penny Hardaway will have a news conference and say, well, I still believe in the team and we're going to do whatever we can in practice to get better. At this point, I'm kind of tired of hearing that. I'm a person that I got to see results. I got to see results. I don't care. I get tired of hearing things in the press conference. I get tired of seeing things on social media. At some point, I need to see results. I need to see wins, and I'm not seeing wins, and here we are. So hopefully, with the addition of Jordan Nesbitt, who's supposed to be a really good guard, a guard that can get his own shot, maybe he will. Maybe he will help this offense. I honestly don't know, because in my opinion, we have more than enough capable players that can get their own shot. We have more than enough talent on this team, but in my opinion, and I mean, I hate to say this, but Penny Hardaway and his staff are part of the reason why this team is not this. They're part of the reason why this team is not where they should be. I will say that.
All right. Well, I'll just keep it brief, and then we can move on to the next topic, because I really didn't watch much of this game. I watched the beginning, and I watched like the first couple minutes, and I saw we haven't even scored a bucket yet, and I was like, okay, I can't take no more. And then, of course, I watched the last play where, oh my gosh, I don't even know what was going on with that last inbounds play. Like, the fact that you didn't even get a shot off is what bothers me more so than anything. Like, if you're going to have a play and it breaks, at least have something where you can at least put a shot up. But the fact that you didn't even get one up is what bothers me most. But to your point, Skylar, the reason that the Tigers are constantly folding against these better teams is what you all already alluded to, is they're simply outcoached. And they're severely outcoached, and I've said this practically since the season started after the loss to I think it was VCU, if I'm not mistaken. In the tournament, it's like every single time Penny Hardaway is going to continuously be outcoached by these better coaches that actually know how to coach and play college basketball. Until the Tigers can get some form of an offense to where they can generate easy baskets and create easier opportunities for everyone out there, then this is going to continue to happen. Took no stock into the East Carolina win. You're supposed to beat East Carolina. If East Carolina is that bad, you're supposed to beat them by 30. The first SMU win was fine for the most part. Maybe it was a sign of something of things to come, but lo and behold, what we saw yesterday, more things change, more they stay the same. So until Penny can find somebody on his staff that knows how to run an offense, it's going to be more of the same here for the Tigers.
I'll end it with my comments, but I don't know if y'all remember, like last summer, I know that Penny Hardaway was not going to get fired. Like, I'm not advocating for somebody to lose their job, but I did say that the seat or the pressure is going to be a little bit spicy if he can't get anything going this season. And it's a little bit spicy because, I mean, he's getting exposed every time on national TV. ESPNU, ESPN2, ESPN, ESPN Plus, all the channels are exposing that he does not. I don't say he does not know situational basketball, because this is Penny Hardaway. It's one of the best players of all time to play in the NBA. But as far as seeing the game on the sideline, I don't know what's going on. Like, this man has forgot more basketball than I will ever remember. But to me, it doesn't make sense. Is it the players that are not understanding what needs to be done? And part of me believes that, because that last play yesterday, where it was like a soft pick to open up DeAndre Williams cutting to the goal, and even like Lester on his breakout to the corner, he didn't really cut out and sold the move. He kind of was like, I'm gonna just lazily walk off. Like, it's got to be the players if it's not the coaching, or both, maybe, So it's like it's I don't know, it's something. So I lean towards the coaching, because coaching makes the players in college. Period. That's how I feel. But also, I'm looking at players like, is that why you're seeing Jaden Hardaway in the starting lineup? He has no business even playing, to be honest. On some coach's son type mess. But like, I don't know. I look at Penny's staff, and like, even when he hired Coach JJ, an AAU coach, I'm like, why? Mm-hmm. What was the purpose of doing that? Like, that doesn't help you any at all, because you are Penny Hardaway, who coached AAU, who coached high school in Memphis. What is redundant to bring in the same coach? So I don't know if the AD is going to make him hire somebody, or not make him, but like help him hire somebody that has a bit more offensive acumen or what. But like, defensively, Tigers got it. They are one of the best defensive teams in the country, period. Like, that's good. They're number 4 ranked.
Yep.
That's crazy. Out of 100 some teams, you're number 4. That's good.
That's crazy.
But at some point, you got to have offense. And I look at, like I said it before in the past, I look at like Virginia a couple years ago, best defensive team in the country, period. Could not score on offense at all. Just could not do it. So Penny got to figure something out. It won't be this season. I'd be surprised if they turn around this season. I've been saying that every week. But, I mean, that's just inexcusable. He has to look at, like, NBA sideline. I said look at Brad Stevens. This is like the king of the sideline out of bounds play, scoring every time. Got to do something with that. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, and I think for me, to your point about Virginia, you don't have to have the best offense. You don't even when Virginia had their run, I think there were times I saw they weren't even top 100 in offense. But the difference between Virginia and them having a good defense and their offense versus Memphis having a good defense but a bad offense is turnovers. At some point, you have to stop with these damn turnovers. Even if you cut the turnovers down to 5 or 6, that's 5 or 6 more possessions that you get to score the basket. Right. But when you're averaging 18, 20 turnovers, you're losing, period. Yeah. I don't care who you are. I don't care who's on your roster. I don't care who your coach is. If you're averaging that many turnovers, that's a problem. And in my opinion, that's coaching. That's coaching.
That's coaching.
Because a lot of times they legit look lost. They legit look like I have no idea what to play.
That was that DeAndre Williams who threw the ball? Oh, Nolly threw the ball across court. Like, what are you doing? It went over dude's head. Like, what's going on?
To y'all point, it was one point in the first half where SMU had like 16 shots to like Memphis 8 in attempts. I was like,
turnovers.
What the heck?
It ain't because they get not rebounded.
Right.
Yeah. Turnovers.
Because they turn over the ball.
And to your point about Penny is coaching, like, remember, they basically fired Tubby Smith because it wasn't because of his coaching. It was because of recruiting.
Tubby can coach. I mean, he really.
Yeah, Tubby can coach.
Dude, his teams look better than what Penny team's looking right now. With worse players.
Like, I just don't remember the last time, and I know I've stopped watching the past couple games, but I don't remember the last time I sat and watched, like, even if it's a 5-6 minute stretch where I'm saying, damn, that's some legit good offense. Don't remember the last time.
You know what, you're right. We have not enjoyed like Memphis offense like at all this season. Have I?
Probably the St. Mary's game, which is the very first game of the season. That's probably the only one.
Right.
That was a game more so of shot making versus good offense. And good offense.
Because normally, like when I'm watching college basketball, like I watch for the system. Memphis' system is just whoever gonna make a shot, and this is pray.
And this might play. I put it this way, I missed like the first 3-4 minutes of the game. When I finally tune in, I look at the box score. Why are all 10 players already playing in this 17 minutes left on the clock in the first half? And I see 10 people. That's got me.
That's a problem.
Like,
that's a problem.
Coddling, man.
It's either Colin or you. It's really an issue where you trying to find 5 guys that's gonna go out there and compete.
Coddling,
man. Yeah, and I think part of that is going back to his pitch, right? To get those players to Memphis. I think he's saying, from what I've heard, he's telling them that I'm not guaranteeing you a spot or I'm not guaranteeing you any minutes. You have to earn those minutes. But to your point, Sergeant, when you running that many people, hell, it don't matter. that doesn't even matter. Like, even times when a player is hot, he's still pulling them. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, even apparently, like, during this stretch, Alo has been doing well. So then why did I hear Alo's not starting in yesterday's game? Was that the case?
No, he didn't start.
Come on now. I'm not sure what he's doing.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all this before we move on. I'm pretty sure I'm going to ask y'all this at the end of the season. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hot is Kenny C? And I'll start off by saying a 7.
I say 0. He ain't getting fired. It's just a matter of like he has to like do something. Like they gave Penny with a 5-year contract.
Yeah, they just gave him an extension.
And then he's really taking a pay cut. I mean, Penny can be worth more money in terms of like it's Penny Hardaway. I say 0. He ain't. It's not hot, but for like in the eyes of the public, it's hot in terms of like we gonna be on your ass like back pockets hot. Mm-hmm. I'm on Penny. Yeah. I've been on Penny all year. So I'm like, dude, like what is going on with this offense?
Yeah,
so he good, but if like Memphis, the University of Memphis, formerly known as Memphis State, will not fire Penny Hardaway. That will not happen.
Yeah,
they just can't do that.
They still paying tough. So
I feel that.
Yeah,
they still paying tough.
I think to answer Tuke's question, I don't think it's hot because 1, he just got an extension. 2, I think this is across the board. I think this is across the board for most sports. COVID is a big reason why some of it's a lot of stuff that you got to deal with. Players, if they're positive or negative, who can play, who cannot play, like how long you can practice. So I think that's part of it. But to Savage's point, Memphis is a city that does not play about their damn basketball. We know basketball, and we'll cut you some slack for a little second. But when we consistently start to see a bad product put on the field, we got an issue. And when we got an issue, we gonna make sure you know that.
Penny is lucky people are not allowed at the game. I say that because the optics of people not going to those games, playing bad. Passner, we saw how Passner look. Tubby, we saw how it looked.
I wouldn't say on the scale of 1 to 10 to answer your question too. I'm probably just gonna go with 2. It's not hot, but the hot water has been turned on. So it's got to take a minute before it actually get hot. So.
I feel that. Good analogy.
Yeah,
that's right. That's my same number about it too. I think I think it's something, but like I said, he just signed the extension. I think going to next year, they looking like this, then extension or not, you got to start.
Yeah, but I think if you're the AD, I can't Larry Beach. Yes. If you're the AD, you got to knock on his door like, hey, we need to talk, bro. I just gave you this extension. We are good, but this coaching staff that you put together, I might need to step in. I might need to step in because if you're me, as far as who was on the coaching staff, I have no idea what they're doing. Because Cody Topper was here to, I guess, for player development.
Yeah, I don't see that.
I mean,
you need an X's and O's guy, man.
Like the assistant coach from UT Martin, like, what is he doing? Because he ain't drawing no plays.
Recruiting, I think. I don't know.
So if I'm Larry Beach, I'm calling Penny in my office and say, hey, we need to talk. What is X? Who are these people and what are they doing?
Who is helping with offense?
Yeah, that's all we need to know. Who is calling plays? Who's drawing up and calling?
What's Tony Madlock doing?
Right, man. What Larry Brown doing?
Find somebody. You got to go find somebody because we talked about this before we went on air. Like Juwan Howard has came on in Michigan and is balling. That you have no excuse, Penny. None.
I don't think holding him back is COVID right now.
That's the only thing that's holding him.
That's the only thing.
Shut the school down. All right, man. I'm tired of these folks, man.
I'm tired of these folks too, bro. I'm tired of these folks too, bro. And we're gonna go from a team that don't have any fans in their stands to an organization that does allow fans in their stands. But in order to do so, person got to pay their tickets. They got to go through security, and they possibly have to go through a COVID dog sniffing protocol. We're gonna salute Sharky's and Sheedy's favorite team for whatever they're doing with these COVID dogs. But apparently, dogs can smell COVID now, and the NBA have hired them specifically to Miami Heat to trace players and fans with COVID. So if you got COVID, stay your ass home. And I didn't even know that dogs smelling viruses was a thing, but I just learned something new every day. But speaking of the rules, I want to get y'all opinions on the NBA new health and protocol rules. So from Rachel Nichols from The Jump, shout out to her. She said that if the players can only leave home for practice games, outdoor workouts, and essential runs like going to the grocery store and all that. If they're on a away game, they can't go to restaurants and they can't leave the hotels for one quote unquote family member or loved one to be able to accompany them at the hotel, but they took that away. And then let's go into the after game. So now we have that they limit the after game activities as far as like no handshakes. And we saw the situation with Kyrie Irving and Bam with the no jersey swaps. So, I mean, they pretty much like, how can you tell a player not to shake hands, not to jersey swap after going against them 48 minutes, sweating, breathing, doing all this other stuff. But after the game, oh no, get your ass to the locker room. So how do y'all feel about the whole NBA protocols going on? We're gonna there you go right here. That's whack. Look at that. You tell them go away. That's whack, man. So we're going to start with Sharky, Savage, Trev, Lito, man. How do y'all feel about the NBA safety, health, and protocol rules? Should they just say whatever, or are they doing a good job with it?
What was the order? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Sharky, me, then you, and Trev.
Scooby don't. All right. Look at here. COVID smelling dogs, man. Come on, man.
I never heard of it.
That's your team. That's you and
Sheedy's team.
Huh?
They got flu smelling dog. I never heard of a COVID smelling dog. Like, are they dogs are evolving? That's what I learned.
Hey, did you see the new Clifford?
You know, I have no words for the NBA right now, and their COVID rules. You know, we count NFL, and they got through their season. Some way, somehow, they got through their season. All type of stuff. They got through it though. I don't know what the heck the NBA is doing. They postponing the Grizzlies games left and right. On the Wizards games, which I understand why they postponing their games left and right. I just don't know, man. I'm lost. I mean, players can't swap jerseys. I mean, they playing against each other the whole game. What you mean they can't swap jerseys? They already been touching each other this whole goddamn game. 48 minutes. And you telling me all of a sudden now they folks just can't swap jerseys, can't be checking hands, whatever, all these other nonsense, man. I'm just gonna take what dude said on Coach Carter, man. I motioned that we just let the boys play.
Yo, that's a good one.
Man, I'll take that one.
El Capitino.
I don't know. Look, COVID got me confused anyway. Like, as somebody who had COVID, it's like it's interesting. I'll say that. I'm ready for the world to get vaccinated. However, whatever we're gonna do, let's just do it. So I forget what player said it. I think it was George Hill. Was George Hill? Yeah, who was saying like, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do because whatever. And if it's that serious, you shouldn't be playing. Which to some extent I agree with, because like if I can't shake your hand after I just sweat and bled all over you, how are we not allowed to shake hands and dap up? Like I don't get that. Like that's just that the optics of that is off to me. And I think it's a lose-lose anyway, because one, you're playing basketball, and then two, y'all shaking up afterwards. That both don't look well in terms of the eye of the public as far as like the health part of it. But like, I don't know, man. I'm ready for COVID to be over. I'm tired of COVID. I just want COVID to go. This is stupid. We like, as somebody who had COVID, like I go to my parents' house and I can't hug my niece. I can't. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's so weird. It's like, can it just be over with? I don't know. It's just get it together, society, world, whatever you gotta do. Just fix it, bro.
These COVID dogs.
You said what too?
COVID dogs, go ahead.
I said these COVID dogs are help.
Man, COVID dogs, COVID hot dogs. 2020 and 5. I don't know.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Me personally, outside of this whole COVID smelling dog thing, I don't understand that part. But if you ask me personally, I think if the NBA, I think they have a point. I think if there has been one particular league that has in some form or fashion gotten it right, it's been the NBA. So if they're telling players to not go out when they're on the road and they're only allowed to have so many people interact with them while they're not at the games, all this stuff. Whatever technology they have, whatever data they have come up with to say that these players can and cannot do certain things, then for that, I'm all for. But having a dog to determine who has COVID and who doesn't have COVID, that's a little far-fetched to me.
Whose fault is that?
Wow, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I tell y'all got them dogs in Miami, bro. It's about that time.
Oh, that's not nice.
Shots fired. That's
not nice.
I mean, you know, they went finals last season.
That's not.
That is not nice. Just when I thought this country couldn't get any more stupid, we have now rolled out the possibility of having dogs.
Boy, you better be lucky. You know.
Y'all gonna have this out there.
We'll talk about that off there, but yeah, just now we having dogs that can now detect the virus using their sense of smell. Like, I want to know where they do that at. Like, where's Clifford or Lassie or Marmaduke or something? Like, how are you going to detect COVID for someone who's possibly asymptomatic? Like, that was my number one question going into this when I first heard it. But as Skylar said, if anyone has gotten how the process of managing everything with COVID, if any league has gotten it right, it has been the NBA. So as far as the guidelines that they're rolling out for players, I get it. Everybody's adults, everybody's grown. But if this is what it's going to take based on the data that they've received to get everybody back playing and things of that nature, then I'm all for it. So just don't be surprised if you have that random Lou Will going to Magic City story once again. So, but yeah, I can't do nothing but laugh when I heard about the dogs. That's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. So apparently,
more.
once a person have COVID, the body emits a aroma. It's a specific kind of scent. You know what I'm saying? So I guess if you had COVID, you smell a certain way, which a dog would be able to tell. So that's all I got from that one.
Hold on,
What?
bro. This video. Hold on, bro. This video. Kyrie gave Bam the jersey. You know how when you used to ask your mama for lunch money before you went to school, and she said no, and you went down and asked your grandmama, and your grandmama slid you there 20. You say don't say nothing to your mom. That's how Kyrie slid on that jersey.
Bam didn't even try to hide this. Like he
didn't even try to hide it or nothing.
He did it late.
Hide it. He did. Look, he clearly tried to hide it.
He did that later.
That joint is about wide open as you can be.
Okay, man.
If that's a drug transaction, that's the worst that I've ever seen.
Man, I swear.
Shout out to the homie Devin Walker, man. Only thing missing the brown is the brown paper bag.
Shout out Devin, man.
All right, man. COVID smelling dogs to the NFL.
COVID smelling dogs to a quarterback carousel, and boy, do we have a lot of quarterbacks that are on the move. So before we talk about the championship games from last week, the guys have been sent a list of quarterbacks that are potentially on the move. There are, I think, of a list of about 10, maybe a little bit more than that, quarterbacks that legit could be not with the team that they played on last year. So this week we have a list of 5. Next week we'll have another list of 5 by then. So we will try to determine where these quarterbacks will be playing if they do not stay with their current team. So, of course, we're going to start with Mr. Quarterback himself. We're going to start with number 4 down in Houston, Texas. Deshaun Watson. So, fellas, tell me, is Deshaun Watson staying a Houston Texan, or is he going somewhere else? If he's going somewhere else, tell me where he's going.
Who first?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go Savage. Let's go with the COVID smelling dog second. Starkey, Trevor, then I go last.
The COVID Jesus. You so disrespectful. You have a name.
I kind of wrestled with this one because there are so many options for Deshaun Watson because the entire league wants Deshaun Watson. I mean, if you have a pulse and you don't have Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, you probably calling Houston to say, what's up with these? What does Deshaun Watson do? Mm-hmm. That being said, I feel like the team that's best equipped to get Deshaun Watson, as far as like having assets to give back to Houston, is in the 305 is the Miami Dolphins. I feel like the Miami Dolphins have a ready-made defense. Their offense is already halfway decent with receiving options and running backs. All they need is, Tua cool, but he ain't Deshaun Watson. Like, let's be real. So I think that he ends up in Miami. And Miami probably won't give up as much because they have a lot to offer, like a lot already accrued. So I'm going to go with Miami, and I think that Tua will be in Houston as far as that transaction.
Good point. All right, so there are rumors that he's been in New York a lot, and the Jets come up on a lot of people's radar, which I can definitely see. But yeah, my Panthers just hired Sean Ryan, who was a quarterback coach for Matthew Stafford, who we'll talk about this episode, I guess, coming up in a minute, and also Deshaun Watson. So Carolina, we have the pieces to also trade for him. We can definitely give them Teddy B and a couple first round picks, whatever. We have the money for him. We got Scott Fitterer, who was from the Seahawks organization, who knows the players. We got a big money owner who wouldn't mind spending money. I guess the clock is still on that to see what's up with that. But I'm gonna go with the Carolina Panthers, man. I think we got a lot for them, and like we had a top 3, top 4 wide receiver called yards wise that have played very, very, very good with Deshaun Watson.
So, yeah, I would love, of course, these are my division. So, Get him about it. I don't care where he go. I prefer that he even lead the conference. That'd be even better to carry that. But to be honest, I mean, the Jets had the number 2 pick. The Dolphins had the number 3 pick. Those were the 2 names that were listed. I'm not sure how shrewd the Jets were that he was considered going there. He was New York City, but who knows? But that's number 2 and number 3 pick. They can make them trades, and including the Dolphins, you can get 2 and a number 3 pick. I mean, you got your quarterback and you can draft a wide receiver. Boom.
I'd love to chat with you, Parrish. How are you doing today?
Alexa, like, let me get in this conversation.
How you doing? Thanks for asking.
But yeah, so I think it's between those 2, or maybe I doubt the Jags. I doubt they make a division trade like that. But I can see the Jags trading no 1 pick for him, and they just take Trevor Lawrence. But I would say the Dolphins, because you get a quarterback back plus the number 3 pick, and you possibly get Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase, or I mean, you can't beat that.
Look, you can't get wrong with either one of those.
Well, since you and Savage both took the pick that I was going to say for a possible destination for Deshaun Watson, I'm actually going to. I don't know about that one, Chief. It's all good. I'm actually going to stay in the AFC East, and I'm actually going to say that he's probably making his way to New York. I know they've come out and shown high regards for Sam Darnold and things of that nature, but I think it's just all smoke and mirrors just to pick up his stock to make him a potential trade partner for Deshaun Watson. As you guys said with the Dolphins, the Jets have the number 2 pick, so they could usually just partner Sam Darnold that number 2 pick, send it to Houston, probably take Justin Fields or not even Justin Fields, just take a receiver or something that they may need to get everything going in Houston again. So I'm actually, like I said, I'm going to stay in the AFC East. I'm actually going to take New York as a potential destination for Deshaun Watson.
To Savage's point, I think if you are anybody other than the Chiefs, possibly the Seahawks. I think that's about it.
You better get booted.
Look, hey.
Somebody said the Browns. Like, come on, that too.
Hey, I love making Deshaun Watson. Hey, man.
Come on now.
Let's be real.
Outside those 2, and I'm including Baltimore. I'm including Buffalo. I'm including Tampa Bay. I'm including all these teams. If you aren't the Chiefs or the Seahawks, in my opinion, you should call and try to get
even the Seahawks is easy.
And I think for me, he's also not that expensive. He's already been giving his signing bonus, so you don't have to worry about that. He's getting paid after this year $30 million a year. $30 million a year for, let's just be nice, the top 5 quarterback? Top 5 quarterback in the league?
Yeah.
In my opinion, anybody and everybody should call him. A team that I think should do it, San Francisco 49ers. That's scary. Yep. That, in my opinion, is so scary because if you see what the 49ers could do with Jimmy G.
With anybody.
Really. Correct. To your point. With anybody. I would be, if I'm John Lynch, if I'm the 49ers, I say, what you want? I would try to do that deal. I think they already have a top 10 pick anyway. You would try, in my opinion, you try to do that deal. And if you do that deal, if you're the 49ers, that not only makes you a favorite in your division, that makes you a favorite across the board. That puts you, in my opinion, that puts you up there now with the Kansas City.
That puts you back to the Bowl.
Because you already have a solid defense anyway.
And honestly, I was going to pick the 49ers, but because Jimmy G, I think you would rather have 2 or Sam Darnold. Just as you rather have them in that top pick than Jimmy G in the top 10.
Yeah. So I think the 49ers should do it. I'm not sure if that's where he'll end up, but if I'm definitely the 49ers, I definitely try to make that call, especially with how competitive your division is anyway, is what I would do. Yep. So second quarterback we have on the list is good old Ben Roethlisberger, the last top quarterback from the 04 class, missed a $41 million cap hit for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I think we all kind of know that we think that he's coming back. So again, we'll play quarterback carousel with him as well. Does Ben Roethlisberger come back? If he does not come back, is he retired? Is he off to another team?
Man, Benjamin got the Pittsburgh Steelers organization like how Cat Williams had Terry Crews in the bathroom on Friday after next, man. He got y'all nuts, man. 41 M's, bro. If I'm I'm coming back. I'm coming back for 41 M's. Yeah. Ben ain't going nowhere. He'll be back next year throwing picks to the other team again. I hate it for y'all. I really want Ben to retire, man. I'm tired of seeing Ben. I mean, I'm tired for y'all. Like, it pains me to see y'all not be successful. Like, I need Pittsburgh to be in the playoffs and be consistently winning in the playoffs. Big Ben ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all should get Deshaun Watson, but y'all make those moves. We know that. But
we'll have money to make that move.
Yeah, we ain't got the money.
Chill, guy. Hey, we need
a permanent view button, not permanent. Temporary view button.
What he doing?
Just not show his comments.
But Ben will be back. He'll be back for a cheaper amount. I'm sure. I'm sure he better be. If I'm the Rooney family, not Rooney family. The what family y'all is? Hey, yeah,
you was right. The Rooney.
Okay, cool.
Why did he say he's gonna be number one on OnlyFans? Like, come on, man, that's messed up. But I've been told y'all, man, Big Ben ain't going no damn where. Perfect analogy, Savage. I got him saying with the Steelers. It may end up being a situation like we saw with the Ravens with Flacco and Lamar Jackson. Like, you know, they may draft a quarterback and then just go ahead and get rid of him, maybe. But, you know, I definitely see Big Ben on the roster next season. More than likely he'll finish out with the Steelers as well. But Savage, you said they weren't good. I mean, they did start off the season 11-0, bro. Like, I mean,
you know, I ain't believe that mess. I ain't believe that mess. I was like,
I mean, it's 11-0, bro. It's undefeated. You know, you gotta believe it. Somebody got.
That's cool.
I'm sorry. All right. He got 40 million reasons to stay. Whether he takes a pay cut and he probably go down 20 something. He take a pay cut. That's cool. He back. I'm sorry. I wish he would retire.
Yeah.
I wish y'all could get another quarterback. I'm tired of seeing him. Hopefully y'all. I think Zach Wilson's stock is rising, so y'all probably gonna get like Mac Jones. I don't know if that's exciting, but what do y'all have to trade for Deshaun Watson? Do y'all have anything that's worth? That's because they're not taking Big Ben back in no trade, so y'all gotta have.
I mean, you got something. You have something. You have a defensive player of the year on the other side, but they ain't giving that up.
They ain't giving that right.
I wouldn't give it up.
Yo, yeah. I saw a scenario trade from like ESPN Plus or Bleacher Report said that trade TJ Watt and BJ Watt and AJ Watt. I like,
now, if anything, Pittsburgh do need to call Houston, but it ain't for Deshaun Watson. I'll say that.
Do y'all have anything to trade for Matthew Stafford? Nah, we get to that.
Oh man. As much as it pains me, Ben Roethlisberger will be back with the Pittsburgh Steelers next season. Now, the bright spot is he has come out and said that he doesn't care about the pay, so he would do whatever it takes to help this team. So I'm glad that him and Mr. Rooney are on the same page. So, however this contract needs to be restructured, please do so because we got some key pieces we need to try to bring back. Juju Smith-Schuster being one of them, but Dupree being another. So I just don't. The fact that we didn't pull the trigger on possibly cutting Ben and pushing him towards retirement just kind of let me know that he's going to be back with the Steelers. So Ben will be back, but it won't be at 41 mil.
Definitely agree with Trevor. I knew deep down that he was going to be back. Just because I think there's a lot of money on the table. I knew he was going to be back. But to what Savage and y'all are saying, for me, Ben Roethlisberger not only needs to take a pay cut, he needs to take a big ass pay cut. Because looking at his contract, 19 or 20 million of that is already done. It's going to hit the cap regardless. What he can restructure is his roster bonus, I think, is what it is that he can restructure. That can be cut down to as low as $1 million a year. And what he could also do to help the team, in my opinion, if he's going to restructure, it doesn't need to be stretched anymore past this season. That's the issue that I'm going to have. Right. If you're going to restructure that, that's fine. But don't restructure to where the money that we owe you is being divvied up after this year and 2 years, because I don't have time for that. Once you retire, then you need to be retired. You need to be off my books completely. So I'm always going to come back. But I will say this. I'll take Ben Roethlisberger, and this is just hypothetically speaking. I'll take Ben Roethlisberger with a $5 million roster bonus, and it's only another additional $5 million towards the cap, than him at another 19, which equals the 41. I'll say that. So I knew he was always going to come back. It's just a matter of how much of a pay cut he's going to take, because Bud Dupree needs to be paid. Mike Hilton needs to be paid. And then you also got to figure out what the hell you're going to do on offense. Because I can probably count on 2 fingers the amount of people on offense that I'm willing to bring back. So he needs to, in my opinion, he really needs to figure out how he's going to restructure that deal. And I will say this: if Art Rooney wants to have you back, he will have you back. But if he's saying that we're not going to bring him back at that cap hit, I will probably see they could potentially really cut him. They could probably cut him and bring him back, but cutting him and making sure that he doesn't hit the cap that hard, I believe Art Rooney when he says that.
Hey, Lito.
Yes, sir.
You know what's going to happen? They finna put Big Ben on that Lou Aldine contract.
No, I seriously don't think they'll do that. I seriously don't think they'll do that.
No, he gonna be on.
I seriously don't think they'll do that.
Haven't hit their head with the helmet.
Because they've never done that.
They've never done that at all.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have never done. They are cheap. They are cheap, sir. They ain't bearing their money for 3 or 4 years. They ain't doing it.
Green Bay and Pittsburgh got those teams down to
I'm gonna say
they're cheap as hell. They ain't paid a receiver in years.
Yeah. The Lakers did it. The Lakers did it because they can afford to do that. The Lakers ain't Pittsburgh.
Right.
Touche.
Anyway, we'll say so we'll move on to the third quarterback on our list, which is Matthew Stafford. I know we've talked about him before. Matthew Stafford is upset with the Detroit Lions organization, which I think we all would be if we are Matthew Stafford. He has now asked for a trade out of Detroit. So again, the same order.
I agree. That's a mutual agreement.
Yeah. Good point.
No, he asked for a trade.
No, I mean he asked, but I'm saying Detroit is going to. It's not like Houston talking about.
Sharky, pay attention to the terminology. He asked for a trade.
Well, I don't know he did. I'm saying Detroit. No, what I'm saying is Detroit has agreed to part ways after he asked for it.
Yeah, no, I think what Sharky says is a good point, because you can ask for a trade all you damn want to.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to openly say that I'm okay with it, then to what Sharky said,
okay. All right.
The late great Kobe Bryant, man, he didn't get traded.
So where does Matthew Stafford end up going? Same order.
This one is hard because so many teams need Matthew Stafford. Like, I know some people like hate on Matt Stafford. Like, bro played in Detroit, bro. Like cut him some slack, bro. You in the division with Aaron Rodgers, generally the Bears defense, and the Vikings, who have all been at some point the winner of that division in some shape or form. The Lions have sucked ever since Barry Sanders retired early, and continue to suck once Megatron retired early. So cut Matt Stafford some slack. He's a good quarterback. He has capability of being top 5, top 10 talent in terms of like yards and touchdowns. Oh man, so many options. I would like to see him in Pittsburgh, but that ain't gonna happen. So my gut tells me that Matt Stafford will be in San Francisco with the 49ers. It's going to be some kind of weird trade because Jimmy G is not going to be there. I don't think they want Jimmy G in San Francisco, so I think he'd be back maybe in New England, maybe somewhere else. But I think San Fran has enough assets to make that trade go down, and Matt Stafford will be out there with George Kittle, and good luck to everybody over there on the West Coast.
Facts.
Man, I can't see nobody leaving a coach that will bite somebody's ankles, bro. Like that's crazy.
Kneecaps.
But if I had to pick a team, even though I threw the Panthers out earlier, I would actually go with the Colts, man. Colts got excellent defense, and they're literally a great quarterback away from doing damage. Matt Stafford does have top 10 talent, especially when you look at his numbers. Like, even though he was with the Lions for the last few years, they sucked. But he's a great quarterback. He's consistent, and he's not one of those quarterbacks like, I hate to say Tannehill, that won't win you or lose you the game. He will actually win you a few games if you surround him with the talent. So I think the Colts are definitely right there. They just need a quarterback to help them push them over, and Matt Stafford would be perfect for him.
Yep, that's the team I got. Unfortunately, he'll be in my division. With the Colts, got to see him twice a year. Although I'm not as scared of him as I am of Deshaun Watson, but he's still good. And the Colts team with him replacing Phillip Rivers, who was a shell of himself, that's definitely an upgrade. They're a Super Bowl contender.
Hey, he's only 31 years old. He's still young.
They're a Super Bowl contender if he goes there.
Right.
I'm gonna throw the darkest of horses out here with this one. Because they need a quarterback. I'm actually going to take the New England Patriots. I think Bill Belichick is up to something. They definitely need a quarterback. We saw Stidham for a couple drives this season. He doesn't look like he's ready yet. I think Belichick wants to try to get himself back in that playoff hunt, especially after everything that's transpired this year. Got decent weapons in New England. All they need is a quarterback that's going to throw the ball to them. So I'm actually going to go New England as a high for Matthew Stafford.
I mean, do they really got weapons? So
I don't agree with the weapons one.
Yeah, nah.
I mean, they still got Edelman for the most part, who's decent.
Edelman, the man like 40. No.
I think Trevor's point wouldn't be bad if I knew the Patriots would want to pay that much for a quarterback. They never even paid Tom Brady the amount of money that Matthew Stafford is going to make.
That's because
so I can't see them trading for and paying Matthew Stafford that amount of money. So I'm going to actually go with what Sharkey and Took said, which is the Indianapolis Colts. I think that's a pretty fair one for me. Phillip Rivers actually statistically wasn't that bad, in my opinion. Came up just short from beating the Buffalo Bills because he wasn't bad in that game either. So I think if you can get Matthew Stafford, you could probably do a little bit more offensively with him. But in my opinion, that puts you right back in the mix of things if you're the coach. Another year for that defense and another year for him to get used to that offense and Frank Wright. So in my opinion, that wouldn't be a bad one either.
Yeah, got some Ricky weapons and Michael Pittman.
Got a good running game too.
Nice running game. Nice running. Yeah. The whole situation with New England though, Tom Brady could have asked to get paid as much as he rightfully deserved. He's the one who took the pay cut to make sure everybody else was taken care of. So let's remember that. So.
Go shit.
All righty. So next up, we have we got to talk about the Eagles, right? We got to talk about Carson Wentz. We got to figure out where Mr. Carson Wentz is going to be going if he's not staying with the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's only right that we start with Savage and Mr. Nick Sirianni's.
I'm pretty sure this is going to be a smart decision.
Where's Carson Wentz going, Savage? You would know. Of all people.
It's going to be a smart decision. I'm pretty sure of that.
Man. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I genuinely do not know what's about to happen with this team because Mr. Sirianni in his terrible press conference today was saying that he was excited to have two quarterbacks on the team who are very talented. And he said that some teams have no quarterbacks on the team that are very talented. But we all know what should be a commandment. A commandment in the NFL is if you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. So we have no quarterbacks according to that commandment. So, whatever. As far as Carson Wentz, man, my heart wants him to get the hell up out of Philadelphia, but my head knows that he's going to be there. So, Wentz ain't going nowhere, y'all. He's going to be in Philadelphia next.
You get to struggle with us, sir. Come on, man.
Hey, come on. Have a seat. I told you on Twitter, I'm praying for you. Like, we all be in a prayer circle together.
So we talking commandments like thou shalt listen to their homies when they talk about their team, right? I mean,
Hey,
like,
Mewtwo, man. Mewtwo. We ain't doing this right now.
so if he does not stay with Philly, I think he's gonna go to another team, aka the can't get right team as far as the quarterbacks go, and that's the Denver Broncos. Like
One.
talk about a team that needs that's been needed a good quarterback for years because they can't, whether it's injury or just lack of talent. Like the Denver Broncos are literally they can't get right at the NFL when it comes to quarterbacking. But I think Carson Wentz can come in and either do good or keep that narrative going.
I like that.
Drew is in what, year 3?
I think it's
Year 3?
Drew Lock ain't it.
yeah, Drew Lock ain't it. I like him, but nah, he ain't.
They know he ain't it.
I was just trying to make sure I wanted to.
This is third year.
Right.
They fired Doug Peterson, right?
Yep.
Carson Wentz there.
Thanks, Sharky.
You know what, Savage? I'm actually, as much as I want to see him in Indianapolis, because that was one of the teams that I actually have for him, but after everything that's transpiring, I'm gonna agree with you. I think Wentz stays in Philly.
Yep. I'm gonna make it quick and easy. I'm gonna clean sweep around here. He's staying.
Yep.
That's too much money. That's too much money. And I think if your offense and you saw how much he digressed as a quarterback, I'm sorry. I'm not trading for him. I'm not trading for that cap. I am sorry. Now's the time to put up the cap. You're talking about a cap. That much money that he's making against the cap is a lot, sir. And I'd be damned if I'm a GM or if I'm a coach, I'm saying, yeah, let's trade for him. I ain't about that life. There you go. There you go. All right, now last quarterback that potentially could be on the move, which I think, damn, where he going, is Jared Goff. Where's Jared Goff going if he ain't staying?
Well, first of all, welcome everybody to Savage's Mind from 2017. Like I've been here for like 4 years. Welcome everybody. Jared Goff. Jared Goff has the career trajectory of an immobile Alex Smith. Alex Smith was number 1 pick. Jared Goff was number 1 pick. Jared Goff is not as mobile as Alex Smith once was, obviously pre-injury, really pre-Kansas City. He was actually pretty mobile in San Francisco, but Jared Goff is an average quarterback. He doesn't have anything special about him. Literally, McVay gives him the plays to go through it before he gets out and to break the huddle. So I think the perfect fit, and I think this probably will happen. I think Jared Goff is gone. I think he is gone for real. Because one, the Rams like the backup quarterback, and they have shown that they can produce without, superior quarterback play. So I think at least for 1 year, they'll keep the backup quarterback and then figure out what happens the following year, depending on who's available in free agency or, whatever else. So with that being said, I think that Jared Goff fits very well actually in New England with Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick. I think they'll sit there trade to get Jared Goff, and that's where he will be. He'll be in Boston.
Ooh. Great pick. I actually don't have Jared Goff leaving the state. I'm gonna just keep it simple and short because everything you just said was right on the head. But I do think that San Francisco could possibly do something with them, and you can, create a bit of a challenge.
In division?
So I'm gonna go San Francisco.
In division, wow.
In a division, that's tough.
They're the best man as far as like the quarterback go in San Fran, but I think that he's going to stay.
Yeah, like someone mentioned about someone trading for a lot of money for Carson Wentz. Ain't nobody trading for no Jared Goff. For one, 2, if it's gonna be $60 million cap hit if he's cut. Ooh. So Jared Goff would be in LA as a backup, getting paid.
Getting paid.
So he'll get traded in during the season? Because at some point he ain't finna stay on the bench.
They're just going to cut him next year when the cap hit goes down.
It ain't nothing to cut the quarterback off.
Go cut him later when the cap hit goes down.
Hey, ain't my team, so hey.
This one was actually tough, man. Because I'm really thinking about his contract situation. That's the only thing. Like, who would actually be a nice suitor for him? But because of that contract, I don't see him leaving. I don't see him going anywhere. Yeah, he'll probably be getting paid as a backup, and you can probably look to move him next season or something. But, I just can't see. I can't see him going anywhere else. At least not right now. I haven't seen.
He can restructure. He can restructure his deal, and I think that his agent said that he would be open to it, based on like the friction between him and McVay. So
I'm telling you, I ain't restructuring.
That's the case. If he does restructure, then I'll give him a home. I'll give him Indianapolis as a possibility.
Ooh,
I like that. I like that.
I would love it.
Ooh. Yeah,
I actually like for other reasons, Starkey, but hey.
For me, I think it's kind of what Sharky said. I think because he makes so much money, I can't see him going anywhere. Just because I think around the league, everybody knows how bad he is. If you talk about quarterbacks that have regressed over the past couple of years, Carson Wentz is up there. Jared Goff is right there underneath him. And if you want to talk about being bad, he was as bad as the Rams decided to play a quarterback that had a LinkedIn account over him. If that ain't bad, I'm not sure how much bad you can get. So I still think he's going to be with the Rams. Savage, I just can't see New England trading him because he's turnover prone. And if it's one thing that Sean Payton and Bill Belichick do not like quarterbacks who turn the ball over, and I'd be damned if Jared Goff don't do the same thing. He do all of that. So that's why I couldn't see. But hey, you may be right. You have been saying that he's been bad and stuff like that. So we shall see. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are our 5 quarterbacks for this week. We will have a list of 5 more quarterbacks for next week. I think that list will have like Matt Ryan, and that list will have we'll have some more little quarterbacks there. Probably be like Cam Newton, people that'll be like a backup somewhere. So, real quick, I do want us to kind of talk about the championship games that we had on last week. You did have the Kansas City Chiefs, who did, in my opinion, kind of blow out the Buffalo Bills to advance to the Super Bowl. And then you also had the Green Bay Packers, who showed who we thought they were, who choked against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to advance to the Super Bowl. So we'll talk about the NFC Championship game first. So what are y'all's thoughts and opinions on that particular game? Same order.
I'm going back to what I said before. Now, earlier I did say that this, like maybe a couple weeks ago, I was like, Green Bay, yeah, that team, they got it. They did not have it last week. And Tampa Bay, I don't care what anybody say. Tom Brady got lucky. 3 picks in the second half. Green Bay should have won that game based on that, but Aaron Rodgers kept going 3 and out for whatever reason. Yeah, good luck, Tampa Bay. But I was not convinced of anything. Defense looks good. I mean, Ty Bowles coaching them up, former Eagles coach. But aside from that, offensively with Tom Brady, I think that Kansas City's defense will give him trouble. So yeah, NFC is just like, all right, come meet your doom with Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree 100%. And like I told y'all, pretty much at the beginning of the season, like Tampa Bay's defense is a legit Super Bowl winning defense. If you talk about Aaron Rodgers, choke, which may or not be true, but it was just a simple fact that the Bucs were a better team. So I mean, it's as simple as that. They're going to the Super Bowl for a reason, and shoot, you got to have the GOAT try to win one for his home team. So shout out to Tom Brady.
Yep. I'm gonna say it. Aaron Rodgers is my favorite player. He's been getting passed all week because they've been all the talking about he might get traded, yada yada. He might be on the list next week, I'm assuming, on that quarterbacks thing. But he choked straight up. Goal line kept forcing it to Devontae Adams for whatever reason. He had a wide open touchdown early in the game. I did the bootleg breakdown. Shout out to Savage for allowing me to do one in the game, man. But yeah, I mean, he had the receiver come wide open underneath, didn't throw the ball, tried to force it to Adams. Later in the game, had a wide open lane to go run for touchdown and decided to try and throw it to Devontae Adams again. Matt LaFleur decided to kick a field goal. I'm sorry, Aaron Rodgers. Y'all supposed to got the jacket on the sideline. But ain't no way I would have came out the field. He
taking your head coach, get out of here.
I'm calling that time out. You're Aaron Rodgers. He's Matt LaFleur.
Exactly.
You're Aaron Rodgers. Right. Nah, bro. We ain't kicking no field goal.
I got a ring, man. What you talking about?
Right. We ain't kicking no field goal. But man, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady threw 3 picks, man. I'm sorry, Rod, bro. You got to bring that home, man. 4, you lost 4 times out of 5 NFC championship games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired. You can't give him a pass no more. I'm tired of saying he ain't got the team. No, you had the team this year. Y'all had no more seed. That's on you.
That's true. I'm just going to look at it from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers standpoint. They were extremely fortunate. Of course, they can't really complain about the teams. Like you play who's in front of you. That's the saying. Tampa Bay got basically a Washington team who limped their way into the playoffs after winning the NFC East at 7-9. They then got a washed up Drew Brees in New Orleans. And then to Skyler's point, this was a prime example. This is what happens when coaches think too much. And it's not even just on Matt LaFleur. This is also on Aaron Rodgers as well. Like, this is what happens when you just don't do the necessary things when you're just thinking you're too smart for your own good. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Because Tampa Bay, while their defense is good, like Tom Brady has been abysmal this entire playoffs. And to Savage's point, Kansas City is going to bother him. So good luck, Tampa Bay. That's pretty much all I can say. Good luck.
Yeah, I think as great of a career that Aaron Rodgers has had, this is a huge stain on his career. In my opinion, this was probably one of the best teams that he's had. If it wasn't the best team that he had offensively, in my opinion, it was probably the best defensive team that he's had. I think the corner now, Kevin King, I think that's Kevin King. Got burnt. But I think their defense, to y'all's point, Tom Brady threw 3 picks. So Aaron Rodgers had 3 opportunities in the second half, really late in the game, to win the game and blew it. And so you don't hear ESPN talking about that. You don't hear like anybody on Fox saying that. Aaron Rodgers blew that game because as good as Tom Brady was in that first half, and I mean, damn, he was good because that pass through to Scotty Miller was Jesus Christ. That was really good. He was just as bad as he was just that bad in the second half, and you just kind of knew that okay, the Green Bay Packers, they're gonna win this game because he didn't get 1 chance, he didn't get 2 chances, he had 3 opportunities to win that game, and he blew every last one of them. And he had always talked about how he wanted the NFC Championship game to come through Green Bay. He got his opportunity and still choked. So, go ahead, Sharky.
I was about to say difference between him and Tom. The biggest difference between him and Tom Brady. Tom Brady takes advantage of opportunities, turnovers. They score every time. Although Tom Brady hasn't played well, the Saints game when they turned it over, that's when they scored. This Packers game when they turned it over, that's the 2 times they scored.
Damn, that's true.
That's fair.
Yep. And I think now I will say this. I think Trevor kind of was getting to this. That front seven for Tampa Bay, legit. It's legit. I talked about Devin White, but Levante David, he can play. APP, he can still play. And Dominic Suzuki, he's still over there. They can play. Secondary, gonna get torched next week. But that front seven can play. All right. So last championship game we will talk about is the Kansas City Chiefs against the Buffalo Bills. Of course, Patrick Mahomes had a great game. Of course, Mr. Josh Allen kind of folded in a big time moment. So we'll talk about the championship game and what were y'all thoughts from the game.
Man, I'm so tired of the Chiefs spotting folks' points and then ultimately kicking their ass, man. Like at 9-0, everybody was like lurking eyes on Twitter. Everybody had lurking eyes.
Nothing.
And then Pat Mahomes like, all right, man, it's like the Cam Newton gear for him, like nodding his head, like, okay, that's what we're gonna do. And not even Pat Mahomes, y'all. Like Tyreek Hill, bro. Why is this man so fast? Not even in a straight line, but like changing direction. This man juke move and go right back to full speed acceleration down. Man, hey man, shout out to Andy Reid. I'm so happy he's getting his due because the Eagles, his time with the Eagles, it's crazy that like he is not even gonna be remembered as an Eagles coach. Like this is probably like the greatest coach in the history of the franchise, and he went to Kansas City and like became the best coach in Kansas City franchise. You know what I'm saying? So his hand is all over that team. Like just seeing like the offensive schemes and and how he prepares and how they're always ready on third down. That's vintage Andy Reid. And then to have like arguably the greatest quarterback talent of all time and Pat Mahomes. I'm saying that now. I'm just gonna keep it real. He might be best quarterback talent.
Okay. It's okay.
And yeah, the Buffalo Bills, top 5 Allen. I'm calling top 5 Allen now, and top 5 Diggs came up short. They really only scored 19 points. Only 19 points. And the Chiefs scored with 38, and it looked easy. It was like
smooth 30.
Yeah. So, hey, the Chiefs. I mean, I know we're gonna pick our Super Bowl next week, but I mean, come on, man, let's be real. Like Tampa Bay, I would be very surprised if Tampa Bay beats the Chiefs. I'll be very surprised.
Come on, too, because you went against the first commandment of let's be real, and you picked the Bills. Come on.
I'm being straight up. I've been going against the first commandment all year essentially, right? Just to make some fire. But
one time, for Cleveland. That's it.
Y'all know how. Right. I mean, it's either here or there. But now, Pat Mahomes, like you said, Savage is on his way to GOAT them, right? We got the GOAT Tom Brady, who we'll be facing with in the Super Bowl. I think this may be one of the most watched Super Bowls, if not the most watched Super Bowl in Super Bowl history. If not, then I'll be definitely ready to see the numbers in that. But I've been going against Pat Mahomes all year just to make fun of, but he is cold as hell. He is that guy. Should have been MVP. I'm not even sure if they announced MVP yet, but he should be MVP just because of what he means to that team and just what he does talent-wise. So salute to Patrick Mahomes for making it to his second Super Bowl. But the Bills, man, y'all know how I feel about the Bills, watching them from the ground up. And man, I was happy to watch them not give up, even though the Chiefs spotted them the points in the first quarter, right? But they kept going, top 5 Allen. I can't believe I'm saying it because I didn't think his progression would have been that much, from last year to this year. But he definitely played like a top 5 quarterback. Top 5 Diggs is definitely a superstar wide receiver. The Bills will be, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Their defense is legit. Even though they can be better, they are legit. They're a legit football team, and I can't wait to continue to watching them. So salute to both of those teams.
That's what's up. That's what's up about the Bills. The Chiefs ain't going. The Chiefs ain't going nowhere. That's a real team. They ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. How old Mahomes? 24. Yeah.
25.
Yeah. 25.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah. My takeaway, all you need to know, 9 points ain't nothing. Period.
At all. Nothing.
Well, let me start with the Bills. So we saw this year how like the Bills and I'm gonna talk about the Titans. Both teams scored a whole lot of points in the regular season. Then get to the playoffs. Titans scored 13 against the Ravens. The Bills scored only 20. They scored 27, but they were scoring like 30, 40, 50.
Yep.
Scored 27 against Colts. 10 against they had a pick 6, so 10 against the Ravens. And what you said, 19 in this game against the Chiefs?
24, but I said like
19, 18 from the offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that lets you know kind of like, they need to, their offense is letting them down, not playoffs, but you had to score 40 to beat the Chiefs. The last 2 times Chiefs lost, they just scored. The Titans, we scored 35, and Oakland, Vegas scored 40. They beat them. Yeah, yep. You got to score about 35 at least to have a shot at beating them folks. And as for the Chiefs, when they fell down 9-0, it was because Cole Hardman had muffed their punt. If y'all ain't watched the video of how they interacted on the sideline. Pat Mahomes, I forgot somebody else said 1 or 2 on Travis Kelce. They straight positive. I mean, the most positive you can ever be. Because me, you want the punt, boy. I'm on your ass. But that's everything you need to know. That's how you knew that. It's like, oh man, you okay, bro? Nah, nothing, bro. We got this.
Yeah. Well, my take from the game is the first commandment of let's be real is the first commandment of let's be real for a reason. And I was one that tweeted the lurking eyes just to troll when Buffalo went up 9-0. And I saw the timeline. Everybody was like, "Oh, this may get interesting." I'm like, "Okay." And then Kansas City just turned it on, and it was no looking back from there. Like at no point of this game, I sat and watched and just thought that Kansas City could potentially lose this game. Just how easily, just after the muff punt, just how easily they were able to just move the ball up and down the field. And like I said, that was 30 easily. So if you can't match that against Kansas City, you might as well just put one in the L column for you. So, but kudos to the Bills. A huge progression for Josh Allen this year. Probably one of the best in the league this past season. Stephon Diggs was already a superstar. He just needed a better quarterback. Let's just be real.
Yep.
And the Bills not going anywhere, but unfortunately the Chiefs aren't going anywhere either. So there you go.
For me, 2 takeaways from this game. Because I already knew how good Patrick Mahomes was. I think since about week 3, week 4, when I bet against him when they went against Baltimore and he blew him out, I said I would never in my life again pick against Patrick Mahomes. So I'm not doing it anymore. But 2 things from this game that I took away. One, people have got to give the Kansas City Chiefs defense some credit. Please do. Because if you see what they've done against the Browns, if you see what they did against the Bills, I mean, a Bills team that, in my opinion, had been rolling. I mean, to Savage's point, really only scored 19 points. And that 19 was a struggle. 7 of those, not 7 of those. They struggled, in my opinion, offensively. So Kansas City Chiefs defense has to get a lot more credit than they do. Second, I don't understand for the life of me how you are a general manager or an owner of a team and you don't say, I need to go hire Airbnb. How, like, at some point, like, you would just at least get him off the Kansas City Chiefs team, just so you can say, okay, it's just Andy Reid, not Andy Reid and Airbnb. Get him off the team because that offense is rolling. I don't understand how people are not seeing that. How you hire Nick Sirianni or how you hire freaking
Joe
Dan Campbell or how you hire
David Culley.
How you hire
last ranked passing
I
offense.
get he's a black man, and I'm grateful that black man got a job. But how you hire a Ravens passing game coordinator who the Ravens passing game is awful.
Ravens don't even pass. They don't even pass.
Exactly.
Like, they don't even pass the ball.
The Kansas City Chiefs definitely have to give more credit. And I don't understand how nobody hired Airbnb. But I think low-key, because I think Savage tweeted this, maybe low-key, he's trying to stay with the Chiefs because that's a better option for him.
Reed ain't going nowhere. Andy Reid ain't going nowhere. See about 80.
All right, he's on the road off the Super Bowl.
I think he turned down that Houston gig though.
I'm pretty sure everybody did.
I think he waiting on Chicago. I think it's what he waiting on.
For what?
To get a job in Chicago, because Neg ain't gonna last longer.
I'm saying for what?
Some Airbnb.
Why don't you want to go to Chicago?
Why not? Better than Houston.
It is.
Wow. Better than Houston, but then you also ain't got a quarterback.
Exactly. You don't have a quarterback there.
I'm staying with Pat Mahomes, dog.
Right. Exactly. And see, that's and when I thought about that, I think is what I said last week about any offensive coordinator or any defensive coordinator for Alabama. Just stay.
Right.
You got a good job. I wouldn't leave unless I know for a fact I'm going to the right organization. That's the only way I would leave. I'm not leaving under Andy Reid, under Patrick Mahomes. Hell, I wouldn't leave unless it's the Cardinals, maybe. Maybe the Cardinals. Kyler Murray's there. You got the Hopkins there.
Kyler trash. I don't believe Kyler. He trash.
He got hurt, man.
So that's it. Next week we'll talk about 5 more quarterbacks, and then we'll pick our games for the Super Bowl. Hopefully, Tuke would have learned his lesson about picking against Patrick Mahomes.
No one pick.
Maybe not.
All right,
that's it.
We'll get the Super Bowl picks next week. We'll get our 10 Commandments in next week. We also have the L of the month. I wish I could show the video right now, but it'll be next week. It deals with the Bills as well. But
I hope Burger King is a candidate.
It is. And the dude from the
Burger
Bills.
King ain't for to get L of the year, and we just
got some solid candidates.
Speaking of Burger King, ain't somebody supposed to be eating a tuna sandwich this week?
Man.
yeah.
It's okay because CD's not here. I'd rather wait till next week.
Man,
It's okay. I'd rather wait till next week.
He did mention this earlier.
No. Look, y'all know me, man. I'm a man of my word, but Sheedy ain't on it, and y'all see the dog on the camera, so Hopefully next week we can get it going
next week.
with the
We're
other week.
gonna get some views next week.
Yes, sir. So, till next time, of course, we'll be back next week. Got I Don't Know Sports coming out Monday before you go on your little.
Nope, I'm on a break.
No, so you on break now? Oh,
Yeah, I'm on break. I'm on break
after
after Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. So you on break now?
You on break? You ain't done enough to get a break.
Man, I got 20 episodes, bro.
No. Savage has a job. You see what his name is? Nick Sirianni's speech coach. He has a lot that he needs to do. That's why he's off.
Thank you.
That's why he's off. He needs to.
You saw that press conference?
So the next time he talk and he sound like a piece of I forgot we live. And he fall out. There we go. The PG-13 version. He fall out. I'm looking at you. I'm gonna send you the little eyes with the emoji on Twitter.
Correct.
Yeah, well, possibly be a new Let's Tighten Up Tuesday due to the new coordinators that got signed. Probably thinking about changing the name to Titans Going to Tighten, but we'll see. If I stick with Let's Tighten Up, it's the name of the show. But remember, follow us at LBR, LB Real Media. I keep getting it myself. LBR Sports 901, and this to a Starting Five podcast every Monday. The Grease is about to finally play again.
Whoop, whoop.
Yes, finally.
Two quick things. We lost two really important Black people this week. Rest in peace to Mr. Tyson. Also, rest in peace to John Chaney as well. But that it was not missed
today.
Seiko Smith. That's 3.
Okay, rest in peace. But she should be back next week. So we have the full squad. Until next time.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.